Hello, hello, hello. Welcome again. So, this video is just about the movie news. Recent movie news. What's going down? What's hip to the jive? What's the talk going down the streets? And the talk that's going down the street at the moment is to do with my two favorite directors, Tim Burton and Quentin Tarantino, so that's good. So apparently, allegedly, there is a Beetlejuice 3 in development. Now, I'm excited and also worried about this for multiple reasons. One, when Tim Burton was asked about doing Beetlejuice 3, he seemed quite hesitant, so I'm a little worried about whether or not he's actually going to be attached to this property. But if he is, I'm sure it will be very good. Though I hope it doesn't end up being some corporate mess. Now, I liked Beetlejuice. I thought it was a good movie, and I think that there is room to continue the story in some capacity, so it doesn't feel too much like a cash grab, even though it probably, to an extent, is a cash grab. But you can have a good cash grab. As long as they name the film Beetlejuice, I will be mostly happy. I also think it's really great because Tim Burton has actually never had a trilogy before, ever. So if he does this movie, it will be his first trilogy. Regardless though, I'm curious to know how they go with it. But what could happen in the third one? Would Beetlejuice try to marry Lydia Dietz again? I'm all for that. I thought the wedding scene in Beetlejuice was actually the best scene in the whole movie, especially when they're like flying up in the air. It was really great. And very funny. But overall, I'm sure it'll be a fun movie and I'm definitely gonna go see it if it actually gets made. I hope it doesn't go to streaming though. I'm not sure what the deal is there. I haven't looked into that part of it. But I assume it'll be a theatrical release. If it's not, then that's gonna be strange to say the least. But apparently this next movie is going to be a Netflix film, and that is Quentin Tarantino's next movie. So what is it? Now, Tarantino famously has always said he's only gonna do 10 movies. Just 10, and then he's gonna retire from filmmaking in general. Which is sad, but I understand that he wants to quit while he's ahead. But this next movie he's doing isn't counting towards his 10th film, because he's not directing it. He's just writing it, and he's getting one David Fincher to direct, and that is a sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Didn't think that was gonna happen. Now, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, if you don't know, is a tribute film to 60s filmmaking and LA. It's a very good movie, in my opinion. I personally really like it. I grew up with a lot of 60s television and films, so I have a lot of nostalgia for that time. And I think it's a really interesting movie. I know not a lot of people love it, and a lot of people think it's very boring. And I understand, but personally, I really enjoy that film. And one of my favorite parts of that movie was Brad Pitt's character of Cliff Booth, which happens to be the main character of this sequel. They're flipping it on their head. It's not Rick Dalton anymore. David Fincher is a very famous director. Many people know who he is. He's directed movies like The Fight Club, Social Network, The Game, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, and Seven. Those are all very popular movies, I believe. I will say I'm a little concerned because one of the things I love about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is Tarantino's very unique direction style. It has its own personality, and I don't think that David Fincher doesn't have his own personality. He definitely does, but that is my worry. They have conflicting personalities in the way that they direct a film. So how is that going to affect the movie? Is it going to feel different in a good way or different in a bad way? Is it going to be extremely different? Is he going to try and take a few cards out of Tarantino's deck? I'm not sure. Another thing is that this film is going to be made by Netflix, so that gives me another worry. Is this going to be a theatrical release? I don't believe that Tarantino is the sort of guy who would be very happy about a movie that he's made not getting a theatrical release, but this is Netflix. And Netflix doesn't really release their movies in theaters, they release them on streaming. And that means that they also likely don't get a Blu-ray or DVD release, which is another issue for me because I really want to get it. So, I am both excited and extremely scared for this film. Don't get me wrong, I am very happy that we're getting another Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and starring Brad Pitt's character of Cliff Booth, so he gets more attention. So that's the news on the street at the moment, the movie street. That's the stuff that's hip to the jive right now. But yeah, I'm excited enough, and I think that the project I have more faith in is probably Beetlejuice 3 for now, just because I'm a little concerned about the other movie's production, but that could change later on. But until then, I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. Anyway, bye!